welcome to another video. Today I am bringing you my July wrap-up. Holy guacamole. You know how in June I said I had a good reading month? This month I had a really good reading month. Like I read 6 things and I'm in the middle of 3. So, as I did last month, I did like a wrap-up and currently reading. I'm going to do the same thing this month because I feel like that is a good way to do it. Let's crack on, shall we? The first thing that I finished in the month of July is Roth by Cora Carmack. I had this in my currently readings in June and I finished it, and this book absolutely shocked me with how much I loved it. It was the one we got in a fairyloot. I will link the unboxing for it. I think it was the June fairyloot. Upon opening it I was a bit like it probably won't be that great, it looks a bit meh, but I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I picked it up immediately, and I feel like I read it relatively quickly. It didn't take me too long to get through, but I really enjoyed this. I think I gave it 4 stars, just knocking a star for it wasn't the most original it wasn't the most original idea in the world, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. But the more I think about it, because it's been a while since I read it now, it's been nearly a month, it was actually quite original. It wasn't original in the sense of it's about a princess who needs powers to save her kingdom, and she has a lack of powers, so she needs to go and develop the powers, and she's this strong individual female protagonist sort of thing. It wasn't incredibly individual in that sense because we've heard that story many times before, but it was original in the way the magic worked. I've never read anything before where the magic is storms, and it's all about storms and storm hunting, and the powers are all storm related. So it was all very original in that sense, and I really enjoyed it. I cannot wait for the sequel of this, but I realise I've got at least a year to wait because normally there's a year between books, isn't there? Book number 2 that I read in July is Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. This was given to me as a birthday gift by Jess from Between the Lines, so thank you very much, Jess, as I've said many times already. And this is a contemporary novel. I do not read contemporary novels. I devoured this book in under 2 days. I mean, it's not the shortest of things, but I devoured this in under 2 days and absolutely loved it. Really loved it. Jess said it was going to make me cry, and it didn't make me cry, but I did love it. It was definitely a bit emotional towards the end, but I just loved it. I'm chuffed with this as a whole. I have filmed a book babble for this. Likewise, there is a book babble for Roth. If you want to know more about that, I will link it somewhere. And I have filmed a book babble for this, but I don't believe it's up yet. So keep your eyes peeled if you want to know more about this contemporary novel about a girl called Eliza who writes a webcomic called Monstrous Sea. So it's Eliza and Her Monsters. But at the same time, it's about Eliza's own monsters and her struggles, and a cute boy turns up at school and there's that. But I worry with contemporaries a lot of the time, a boy comes along and makes everything better. That didn't happen in this, and I appreciate that. I had a good time and I do recommend it. The next thing that I read in July, this is difficult, okay? Really difficult. This is the worst book I have read this year. This is not the worst book I've read ever, because 13 Reasons Why still exists, and that is the worst book I've read ever. But this is a second. I did not like this. Given to the Sea by Mindy McGuinness. It was crap. This was obviously another one that we got in a fairyloot from a while ago, and I thought because I liked Roth so much and I wasn't expecting much from that, likewise I wasn't expecting much from this at all, so maybe it would surprise me as well. No, this just disappointed me for days. I think within period of time, I read it in a decent period of time just because I was desperate for it to be done. I got to many a point throughout this where I thought you just need to DNF it because you're not enjoying it, and if you're not enjoying it, what's the point? Because as I say all the time, I read for pleasure, I read for fun, I read for entertainment, and this was not pleasurable or fun or entertaining. This was like pulling hairs. So I don't really understand why I kept going, but I did. And I think that was because I needed to justify hating it as much as I did. And I couldn't DNF it and then be like, oh yeah, it's shit, because then there could be people out there that say, oh, it gets better towards the end, you should have finished it. So I finished it, just so I can say, it's shit, It starts shit, it finishes shit. The end did get like a little bit better, like more was happening towards the end, because honestly for like the first 3/4 of the book nothing happened, and then at the end like stuff happened, but it still wasn't fun. So I gave this 1 star. I didn't say I gave Eliza 5 by the way, but I gave this 1 star. I'm not even sure it deserves that. 0.5, but I don't do half stars and stuff, so yeah. Not one I would recommend, and I'm disappointed by that because it's so far the only fairyloot book that's really disappointed me. So yeah, needless to say, I will not be looking forward to the second one in this. I won't pick it up, I won't read it, I won't buy it, no. And it is a duet, so the second one will be the last one, but I don't care for it, so no thanks. The next thing that I read in the month of July is Lumberjanes Volume 6. This is, I think, the most up-to-date one. Like, I don't think there is a Volume 7. The art style let me down with this. The art style was not fantastic, but the story within this one was really very good and I did enjoy it. I think I gave it 4 stars because the story was good, the art style let it down. It wasn't like the most hilarious, like it's no Volume 2 or Volume 4 because they are my favourites, but it was solid. Like, no complaints really, other than I just wish the art style would go back to being, I always forget her name, Brooke Allen, that's her name. I wish the art style would go back to being Brooke Allen. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that one, but it was solid, it was good, I enjoyed it. The next thing I finished should come as no surprise because it was my buddy read with Jess, and that is A Court of Wings and Ruin. This was my second read of this. I have filmed another one of my vlog things, you know how I vlogged Akatar and I vlogged Akamath. I did vlog my reread of Akawar as well. Haven't even started editing it because I've just got so much footage, like so much. It'll come eventually. My feelings pretty much remained the same from the first time I read it. I gave it 5 stars again because it just brings me so much happiness, and happiness deserves 5 stars. I would say I enjoyed it slightly less the second time round, not enough to deduct a star, but just because the anticipation wasn't there. Like, when I read it the first time, it was like, come on, I need to eat it all up, I need to gobble it right now, and I'd been waiting for it obviously, and I was eager to know how it ended and stuff, whereas the second time round obviously there wasn't that anticipation because I knew how it ended. I had read it before, so there wasn't that anticipation around it, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. It's still amazing. I still love every single one of these characters. Also, I've kind of come to a conclusion that Morrigan is like my favourite person ever. I'm not sure how I've reached that conclusion, but when I finished reading it I was like, damn, I love Mor. I really enjoy her as a character a lot. And I didn't have that feeling about her the first time. Like, the first time round my feelings were all like, ah yes, Feyre and Rhys. But when I finished it this time I was like, more appreciation. I really enjoy Morrigan. So yeah, there's that. But my feelings pretty much remain the same from the first time I read it, so if you haven't seen my initial book babble on this, they're still my feelings. I still stand by everything that I said there, and thoroughly enjoyed it again. So me and Jess have now done the whole Akatar trilogy. Yay! That takes me on to my last read of July, so this is the 6th thing I read this month, and that is Frostblood by Ellie Blake. I picked this up because the second one is coming out soon or something, and there was a quote in a fairyloot box for the second one, and I was like, okay, yeah, I want to read the second one, but in order to read the second one I need to read the first one. So I got the first one, and I'm not sure what I was really expecting, but I think I enjoyed it more than I expected to, I think. But then again, I'm not really sure what I expected. I did definitely enjoy it. 4 stars because I had fun and I enjoyed my time reading it, but again, it wasn't the most original thing in the world. In fact, there were quite a lot of instances in this book where it reminded me strongly of another book that I've read. Like, a lot of the plot points were very similar to a certain something, and if you've read both of them you'll probably know what connection I'm making, but I don't want to say because I feel like that would be major spoilers if you haven't read either one of them. But if you've read this book and the other book, I can imagine you would have probably made the correlation as well between them because they were very, very similar. But I think I enjoyed this one more. I had a real fun time. I really enjoyed the characters. Right from the start, my predictions came true. So it was slightly predictable, not the most original thing ever, but I had fun, I had a good time, and I still cannot wait for the second one. I'm really eager for that. So there we go, that's everything that I read in July. So we've had Roth, Eliza, Given to the Sea, Lumberjanes Volume 6, Aka War, and this, so what's that, 6 books this month, yeah. I've had a fantastic reading month, and I'm now in the middle of 3 books as well. And by in the middle, I don't mean in the middle, I mean like I've just started all 3 of them. So they're all of my currently readings, but let's go. The first one is Daughter of the Burning City. This is going to be my new buddy read with Jess. Although me and Jess were just going to do the ACOTAR trilogy, we've enjoyed buddy reading so much we've decided we're going to make it a constant thing. So when we finish one, we're going to start buddy reading another, and I'm really into that because buddy reading with Jess was such a fantastic experience. So I'm excited to keep going with her. And also it encourages us to read a lot more, like, because we have such a strict schedule of, like, we do 3 chapters every day, if not more, so we tend to, like, get through things, and that's really good for both of our reading. And I'm excited to read this with her because I know she was excited about it. I'm excited as well because fairyloot books are typically good if we ignore Given to the Sea, and this was obviously this month's fairyloot. I will link that unboxing for you as well. But yeah, I'm excited about this. I do not know much about it other than it's something to do with, like, a carnival or something. Festival. Welcome to the Festival of Burning Desires. I'm excited to start reading this, and today is actually the first day, so although I say I'm in the middle, only 3 chapters. Next is what's this one called? The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. This I'm buddy reading with Bex from Bex and Books, and we've agreed that we're going to do 7 chapters a week, and we're now entering our 2nd week, so I'm currently 7 chapters into this one, and I'm gonna continue. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. That's where I'm at with it. And the last book is one that I'm going to start today because I finished Frostblood today, so I'm going to start this today, and this is Err of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. I have left it a long time between reading Crown of Midnight and picking this one up because Crown of Midnight left me, like, feeling pretty crappy about this series, but I've heard from so many people that this is where it picks up and starts getting good. So I really fucking hope that's true. If this still leaves me feeling a bit meh about the series, then I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I want to love it, so I'm gonna start this and see where we go. The reading mood that Crown of Midnight put me into was pretty bad, so if my wrap up before the end of August is literally just these 3 books, I wouldn't be too surprised because this might, like, totally drain my energy, I don't know. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So 6 books finished, 3 books currently reading, and there we go. As I did last month, I'm not setting a TBR because, to be honest, my currently readings could be all I read. Let's hope for the best and see where we go. There we have it. That is my July wrap up and currently reading. I hope you've all had a fantastic reading month. Let me know all about it. Chat to me down in the comments. If you have enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you aren't subscribed and fancy subscribing, I'm always eternally grateful for that. I upload every Sunday and Wednesday and some odd days in between if I'm feeling generous, and I will see you next time. Bye!